What is good, everybody? You know me. It's your boy, Craig, aka the MIC, and welcome to this episode 13 of your favorite weekly wrestling roundup podcast. This is Calling the Spots, the podcast where I take wrestling and round it up weekly. On today's episode, we will be talking about your new champions in the WWE. We will be discussing the final opponent for John Cena, the announcement coming of the 16-man tournament last night at Saturday night's main event, as well as some other things. We will be discussing all pro wrestling as we always do. But before we get into it, if you don't already, please drop a subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. Drop a follow if you're listening to this on Spotify. Leave a little comment, leave a little review, and let us know what you think of the podcast. Let's be nice. But now, without any further ado, let's get into it. Last night, it was in fact Saturday night's main event from Salt Lake City, Utah. We had 4 championship matches and a major announcement from John Cena. But let's discuss the matches first. I won't, as always, I won't do a full in-depth review because if you're a regular watcher, you know that full in-depth reviews kind of ruin my enjoyment of the show. But we need to talk about it because major things happened there. We started off with Cody Rhodes defeating Drew McIntyre to retain the WWE Championship. And I'm a bit annoyed about it. Kind of fell off the Cody bandwagon a long time ago. Pretty much after he won the championship, I was over the Cody thing because whilst Roman wasn't there and defending constantly, Roman was more entertaining than Cody. Roman had a better character than Cody. And the only thing really keeping Cody interesting was finishing the story. That story was finished, but yet nothing new has happened. Again, it got interesting when Cena turned heel, but that finished. That Cena was left with this gimmick of the bad guy, breaking up with the fans, all that stuff, only for The Rock and Travis Scott to not turn up and help Cena build this more. So they just forgot about it and had Cody win the championship back at SummerSlam. And ever since then, again, it's been the same old, same promo, same suits, same old matches, nothing different happening. Maybe it's my own fault for believing that Drew McIntyre might get a win, might become the WWE champion, since the match had a stipulation of no champion's advantage. In fact, if Cody got disqualified or counted out, he would then lose the title. But that wasn't how it went. Although Cody DDT Drew on the title, referee was unconscious. Referee didn't see it. Yeah, Drew was in the heel, but Drew is the bad guy. It was supposed to be the bad guy. Well, if you're following it, maybe Cody's the bad guy. Pretty much copying Cena for the most part as the champion now. We're getting little glimpses of Cody Rhodes as a bad guy again. Drew pointing out like Cody's kind of a hypocrite, which I thought for some time, to be quite frank with you. I felt a bit like well, this is Cody now, and I understand why people would like him, although personally I think it's just his theme. There is nothing new about Cody Rhodes as the WWE champion. If this leads to that heel turn finally, then I can be okay with Drew not winning. But if it's just going to carry on with the same, what do you want to talk about, Random City? Then I'm extra pissed off because I don't understand what Drew McIntyre has to do to become the WWE champion. Right. I feel like at this point, especially, I mean, again, we'll get into more detail on that on the main event of last night's Saturday night main event. But there are certain people who WWE are seemingly pushing, but never quite deliver on the push, especially the title push. There's a few people on this show alone that maybe it should have happened for them already, but it hasn't, and it's quite frankly baffling. Drew McIntyre being one, LA Knight being one, and there's a few others that what's the time frame for this? If not now, when? If not them, who? It's that kind of situation we find ourselves in with the championships. It's very they seem to be going for if it ain't broke, don't fix it kind of booking system, it feels like, which is extra confusing because, again, I know WWE tend to go off the reaction in the arena, and again, to an extent, I understand that. But there are a lot of people who watch the product every single week who are just bored with it. This past Raw was boring, besides the main event. SmackDown was okay. The opener had a banger, and again, it just meh, that happened. So it's really confusing that Drew McIntyre can't seem to get a major win, or win at all, unless it's via DQ or some shenanigans happening in the title picture from the referees, from Cody. Like I said, if this is heading towards a Cody heel turn, all right, I can get on board with it. That's fine. But it's not a great look when it's just the same old, same old, same old, same shit, different week. It's like it's just a bit dull, and they seem to be going for if it ain't broke, don't fix it booking system, if you can call it a system. It's 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 what it is, but it could certainly do a lot more. Maybe that's just my feelings on it. Um, so next for the WWE Women's Championship, Jade Cargill defeats Tiffany Stratton to become the new WWE Women's Champion, and felt a bit of a squash for Tiffany. I know it really wasn't, but it was over quite quickly, relatively quickly, and Jade just dominating Tiffany. Now, was Tiffany the best champion? Probably not. I mean, in terms of her in-ring ability, probably not. But she was a very enjoyable character, a good champion, booked really, really strong. Not losing a singles competition until Crown Jewel against Stephanie Vaquer. So maybe this again, it's kind of similar situation to Cody, but different in that Tiffany lost. A lot of people seem to want a heel Tiffany Stratton again. And I wouldn't be against it. Her run in NXT was excellent. And up until she won the title, again, really strong. But I'm not the biggest fan of Jade Cargill. She came in quite. But again, this isn't necessarily her fault. When she arrived, she was treated like the biggest thing on the planet. It was teased for months of which brand is she going to sign for, who's she going to face, who's going to be her first match. It was a big thing. And then she signed for SmackDown, and then immediately got a match at WrestleMania, teaming with Naomi and Bianca Belair, winning that, like getting the pin in that as well after being tagged in, and then just destroying everyone and getting the pin relatively easily. Winning the tag titles with Bianca Belair, and then this feud with Naomi, which was going really well, even though I feel like it was more suited to Naomi than it was to Jade. Even though Jade beat Naomi, it still felt like this was the kickoff for Naomi to become something different. And Jade Cargill, again, a few injuries, again, not her fault. But I I don't think I've seen a Jade Cargill singles match go over 15 minutes. I mean, I'm going to have to go back and check the timings on this stuff, but singles, I can't remember. And that was my complaint with Trick Williams. And in fairness to Trick, which I never thought I'd say, he developed and got better and went past that. Maybe putting Jade straight on the main roster didn't do her a lot of favors. Perhaps she should start in NXT, like Ricky Saints, like uh, who else? There's so many people who should be on the main roster and also shouldn't be on the main roster. That's not to say Jade isn't good. She's a powerhouse, and it's not something we get to see that much to this level, I guess. And to see Jade Cargill as the WWE Women's Champion, does this continue the feud between her and Tiffany? Because I don't see any standout contenders for the championship on SmackDown. So I'd imagine this goes to potentially what's it called, Survivor Series for her and Tiffany. Maybe some sort of other match, and then Jade retains, and they've found someone to move forward with as a contender. At least up until the Rumble, where it's just easy for them to do something with the Women's Royal Rumble winner. But yeah, like I said, I've never been completely sold on Jade Cargill, and when I say all this, I'm hoping to be proven wrong. I'm not saying this because I want to say it. I do, but it's not for that reason. I want to be proven wrong. But everything I've seen from Jade Cargill is kind of just okay. When she won, I knew she was going to win, and when it happened, I was like, okay, that's same as goes. I'm annoyed that Tiffany lost when they've been pushing so hard on this. Well, to be honest, I can't even say they've been pushing too hard on Tiffany. Every match she went into felt like she was going to lose. So, in general, the booking in the women's division on SmackDown hasn't been strong. You can go to Julia as the Women's United States Champion, and she's getting nothing. It's so bad with how they're booking Julia in this that it's just not. It's almost not fair because she was again when you booked that well on NXT. Obviously, there's no guarantee you'll get that on the main roster, even though she is the United States champion. But the Women's United States Championship from the beginning hasn't been booked well. Chelsea Green was a great champion, as much as I don't particularly like Chelsea Green either. Chelsea Green was a great United States champion. And it always, again, booking people who should have won titles. Mi Chin has been around that United States Championship from the beginning, but never got over the line with it. And I don't know what else needs to happen. But as far as Jade Cargill as the WWE Women's Champion goes, like I said, I want to be proven wrong with this. I'm not ignorant to the fact that she's still fairly new. You know, yeah, she had a run in AEW and she was the TBS champion, whichever one it is. TBS, yeah. All right. I, yeah, I'm just not completely sold on Jade Cargill. And like I said, I kind of wanted to see Tiffany go a little bit longer. At least get to a year. That'd be really cool. Not to be. But yeah, it just it's not really my thing. And that's it's just yeah, this is all about opinions and this is my opinion. It's I know as always with these I give my thoughts, feelings and opinions on stuff. And these are my initial feelings 24 hours out or 48 hours out if when you're watching this as with for Jade Cargill as the WWE Women's Champion. But again, you can let me know what you think about this. I'm just not completely sold. Gutted that Tiffany lost. Yeah, it is what it is, I suppose. It's all about how they go from where they go from here and how they continue the story for Jade. Then next up, it was a triple threat match for the Intercontinental Championship. Dirty Dom retaining against Rusev and Penta. Decent triple threat. Knew Dirty Dom was going to win. As much as I wanted to see Penta win. Again, it's the same thing with Drew McIntyre with Mi Chin in the US Women's Division and in the IC Championship. title picture. Penta should have maybe won it by now. Didn't. Hasn't. Probably won't. However, I have come round more to Dirty Dom. The constant cheating gets on my nerves because you can overdo it. I know the character Dom presents. I know this is what he does. Clues in the name. But when there's cheating in every single match he's in, kind of gets a bit boring. Like it's, I don't want to see shenanigans in every single championship match, in every single match he's in, every single match the Judgment Day are in. Like, there are ways around this. It doesn't have to be cheat and cheat and cheat. I mean, you can go to the Eddie Guerrero stuff. It wasn't every match. I, I know it's triple threat and there's no DQ, so that makes more sense. But honestly, yeah, I did a video on it a few years ago about this title picture of just the three people involved. You know, Penta wasn't pinned, so maybe Penta can get involved in it again. Not going to win it unless finally um, Finn Balor turns on. Um, uh, Finn Balor turns on Dom. Sorry, the bit of a glitch there. Yeah, it just, like I said, it all felt a bit samey. Mm, to be honest, the theme for the show for me was, okay, that happened. Okay, that happened. That was the general feeling I got about the show in general. But this had a bit more to it. Was a slightly better match than the other three. Rusev has been great since he came back. Not really getting much in terms of wins, but he's looked good. And the fact there's been shenanigans around the matches every time he's been involved in it, every time he picked up a loss, it's okay that he's not winning every match. He needs to start winning more now. Whether he does is another thing. Excuse me, my eyes are just a bit sore today. But honestly, yeah, it was fine. Like I said, it's probably match of the night, but it doesn't say a lot about the other matches that took place. You know, fair enough, Dom did it without the Judgment Day, and it was quite funny when he rang the bell. It's quite good, but beyond that, wasn't particularly the perfect match. Wasn't nothing wrong with it. Just the show in general, like I said, it was just okay. There had a lot of hype around it for not great matches. I mean, this match arguably had the three best wrestlers in it, but yeah, it just Dirty Dom is still the IC champion. Don't know when he's going to lose it. Like I said, hopefully soon, because I'm sick of just the teasing of it. Hopefully Finn turns. Hopefully Finn turns on and Dom. Maybe when Liv comes back, maybe. But yeah, it's just all right, fine. That's what we're doing. Then it was the main event. I know something happened in between that, but that's a whole thing on its own I want to talk about. But it was the main event for the vacant World Heavyweight Championship. CM Punk defeats Jey Uso, become the new World Heavyweight Champion. Not how I saw it going, to be honest. I thought maybe we get some interference, we get some shenanigans. I know I just moaned about shenanigans for the Dom stuff, but again, it was teased a lot. Maybe it wasn't. Maybe I was just reading too much into it. Maybe it wasn't teased. I was just reading a bit too much into the Bronze reaction and Jimmy Uso. Match was fine. Again, I didn't particularly want to see anyone of these two win this match. I've fallen off the train. I've no intention of getting back on it. I still like Jey Uso, but I feel like the Yeet stuff has gone as far as it can go. It's just not my thing anymore. Purely, purely because it's nothing new, and it's getting annoying that people don't even have to chant one more time anymore before Jey wants it again, wants it again. It's just expected now, and it's kind of when that first happened organically, that was incredible. You could see how over he was. You don't see people wanting their you don't see fans wanting someone's entrance one more time, one more time. I generally can't remember the last time that happened, if it ever happened before this. Uh, please correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think it ever happened like that. But now it's every show. At one point, it was even 3 times during one match. We don't need that. Like I said, this is pretty much I feel like this is the ceiling for the Yeet stuff. And going off Jay's recent Instagram post, maybe it is. It, but again, they're just trying to make it another Roman. And as much as I like Jey Uso, he hasn't got the aura or the ability to be another Roman Reigns. That was a once in a lifetime thing. Stop trying to make it happen again. It's just not going to work. Roman will go for an hour telling a story. Jey Uso can't go for an hour telling a story. It's just not how it. It's just not how it's gonna work. what What are we doing? Like I said, hopefully we are getting the Jimmy Uso turn, like, or maybe Jey Uso turn. Common theme in this, by the way, is people turning. Whether it's Cody, whether it's Tiffany, whether it's Finn, or now whether it's Jimmy or Jay, because it needs something else. But like I said, CM Punk walked out the winner and the World Heavyweight Champion. Just quickly on it, like how many times in that match do we need to see Post Malone? I like Post Malone. but I'm not sure we need to see him every single move. After every single thing, we'd see Post Malone. Cool, he's enjoying it. But do we need to see him at every little replay? I don't think so, do we? Maybe it's just me, but I don't think we need to see Post Malone quite as much. In general, I'm not a fan of cutaways to like commentators on wrestlers on commentary or people in the crowd. I'm not a massive fan of that, particularly if it's too long because something could happen and we'll miss it. And I don't really like that, but that's probably just me. Um, CM Punk is your world heavyweight champion. Meh. Again, when Punk came back, it was a huge thing. His feud with Drew McIntyre was excellent, but after that, common theme, all felt the same. Like the stuff with John Cena, really fun, but I always say a mark of a good heel is when you understand why they're saying what they're saying and you agree with it. I always say it's a good mark of a heel. And that pipe bomb from Cena, yeah, it might have been a little bit fluffed for TV, but the "you're not the voice of the voiceless, you're a millionaire" line. I'm I was very much on the side of CM Punk with Seth Rollins stuff. Then I realized Seth Rollins was right. Seth Rollins is right. I'm kind of over CM Punk. I have no. Again, the theme is great. His entrance theme, of course, is a banger. But is that it? Is that all I like about it? I think it might be. Again, I knew he was going to win, even though even though I didn't predict that. With the predictions, I kind of went with my heart, not my head. This match, this in particular, felt Seth Rollins is the number one contender. That's fine. You can lock that in. I don't think we needed to have Jey Uso win a battle royal and have a title match straight away. Sometimes you don't need to have a champion on brand when you can build towards a champion. With Women's Championship, they didn't rush Stephanie Vaquer to the next show. It built it and waited till WrestlePalooza to have that match with Io and Stephanie Vaquer for Stephanie to win the Women's World Championship. You, there's more they could have done with this without Punk winning the world title. I understand why Seth had to relinquish it because he's going to be out for 6 months. I understand that, but you didn't need to rush to a title match and just crown because it's the easy thing to do. Oh, Jey Uso, he hasn't had a one-on-one rematch for the world title. Punk's the number one contender. Let's just make this happen because we need a champion. You don't need a champion. You can go 2-3 weeks without a champion, in my opinion. You can build this more, but CM Punk is the world heavyweight champion, seven time. I'm not doing, I'm not doing that. 7-time world heavyweight champion. All right, again, let's see what we do here. It's frustrating that I don't care that much about the current champions. Like, it's frustrating that I don't care that much. when I spend so much time watching the product. My entire life I've watched wrestling, and the people they've booked as the champions, I'm not really that interested in. Besides Ilya Dragunov, who are the WWE Tag Team Champions? The White Six. See, they haven't been on. They've barely been on TV. I understand a little bit because of the situation going on with Bo Dallas and his father. I understand that. Um, we've got AJ Styles and Dragon Lee as the World Tag Team Champions. Which have they started to call them the Raw Tag Team Championships a lot more? Or is it just me? I feel like they've been referred to as the Raw Tag Team Championships a lot more than they have been the World Tag Team Championships. Maybe that's just me. Um, so you've got Becky Lynch as the Women's Intercontinental Champion. Been good, but beyond that, it's not really been my cup of tea with the current champions. There's been some good stories, but it's mainly been outside the championship picture. Yeah, just like I said, the common theme of this show for me was meh, meh. CM Punk's the World Heavyweight Champion. I know a lot of people don't. If you're a CM Punk fan, don't come after me. This is just my opinion. I do want to touch on that picture from backstage at Saturday Night's main event with Jade, Cody, Ricky Saints, and Punk. Of course they're going to post that picture. Of course they're going to take that picture. Wait, what did you expect? There's no point in getting stroppy about a picture. What did you expect? When Moxley showed up to AEW, the picture of the Buck, Moxley and Cody sticking the middle finger up. No one got arsy about that. Well, some people did. When all those releases from WWE came to TNA at Slammiversary in 2021, Heath, Brian Myers, the Good Brothers, Eric Young, all the people, middle finger up to the camera. What did you expect? Like, let's all just take a breath. They're going to take these pictures because it gets reaction, it gets the clicks, it gets the views. Let's all take a breath before people lose their minds over a picture. This happens all the time. Uh, yeah, all in all, for me, Saturday Night's main event was probably being generous, a 7 out of 10. It wasn't that enjoyable for me. Kind of glad when it's over because I've fallen asleep watching it. But you let me know what you thought about the show because it wasn't for me. But just before the main event of last night's show, or Saturday's show, we had an announcement, well, a promo package from John Cena regarding his final opponent. And John Cena announced that it's not going to be handed out, it's going to be earned. Starting on Raw in 2 weeks' time, or a week's time if you're watching this on Monday, there's going to be a 16-man tournament. The winner of that tournament goes to Saturday main event in Washington in December to face John Cena in his last ever match. It's going to be superstars from Raw, SmackDown, NXT, and to quote Cena, uh, and maybe some people who don't go here. Of course, speculating AAA and TNA involvement in this tournament. I like this. I know it could have been done a lot better. This entire last run could have been done a lot better. But the fact they're making this important, the fact that it's not just who the fans want to see, it's not who Cena isn't handpicking his opponent. They're making it important because it is important. If you can put on your wrestling resume, you had John Cena's final ever match, that can make you. Now, of course, the counter argument to that is, what if it's someone that doesn't need it? Like Baron Corbin when he faced Kurt Angle in his final match. Corbin didn't need that. It wasn't good. And that's the last image we have of Kurt Angle in a WWE ring as a wrestler. Not the best. But the fact this is a tournament and then making it feel special, because it is special. After this match, John Cena is never wrestling again. So to have a tournament to decide, and not just a tournament between the main roster guys, basically between everyone, it is such a huge, huge thing. Who do I think is going to be in this tournament? Cena said that it's going to feature people he's never faced before and people who he's had historic rivalries with. So we saw Sheamus in the promo package. We saw I don't know, I lost track of people who saw in the promo. Logan Paul, Dom Mysterio, that kind of caliber. But who do I think? Do I think there's going to be TNA involvement? Yes. I'm predicting Joe Hendry and Leon Slater. I think those two will be the ones from TNA to be in this tournament. Do I think it'll be anyone from outside of WWE? No. Well, you'd already seen it because I posted it yesterday. My big prediction that I posted on social media is that Joe Hendry is John Cena's final opponent. That's just a bold, big bold prediction from me. Whether it comes true, I don't know. But I'm okay with it being a tournament. It, like I said, this retirement tour hasn't been good. There's been some good moments, but only recently. His best match being against AJ Styles. So yes, of course, this is how it's going to be, because they booked themselves into the corner really of not doing an awful lot with this run. So a tournament makes sense. And you know the fact the fact that this is Cena's last match and it can make or break someone. I would like to see Ilya Dragunov win this. He's come back. He's been on fire. I don't want to see Gunther in this match. I don't. I don't think Gunther needs it. I don't. If it's down to me, so let's pick someone from each brand essentially is going to be involved in this. So Raw, I'm going to say Dirty Dominic Mysterio. SmackDown, Ilya Dragunov. NXT, Obafemi. Triple A, Vikingo, I think would be a very good shout. And from TNA, Joe Hendry. I can see those. I can see those five. Yeah, five. Yeah, tired. I can see those five being in it very heavily. Who else five? I don't know, but it would certainly make for interesting time. And we are a month out from John Cena's final match. Just crazy. But that's where we are. Nah. Yeah, you let me know who you think. Who do you think from? So like I did, one from each brand. So I want you to pick someone from each brand represented in the tournament. So Raw, SmackDown, NXT, AAA, and TNA. Pick one superstar from each of those brands, and then who you think will actually be John Cena's final opponent out of the five you've chosen. Let me know in the comments. I'm very very curious to know. But yeah, I guess we can call that a podcast. Appreciate everyone viewing, liking, sharing. It means a lot. One away from 50 subscribers. I know it doesn't seem a lot, but if you haven't already, please do subscribe. Let's get over that. Thank you for everyone who's been watching the reels as well. It's been the shorts and all that stuff. It's been incredible. Thank you so much. Like I said, like, share, comment, all that good stuff. You can follow me here, there, and everywhere. The link tree is in the bio, so in the description. So go to that link tree and you'll find all the socials you need to find. Drop me a follow. I appreciate you all for dropping by and watching this. It truly means a lot. And yeah, I will catch you on the very next episode. I have been that MIC, and I'll see you very soon. Goodbye for now.